Brian and let him tell his story about how he got this calling one night and just he got excited and just started to build the process and the system that he needed to make this happen. So,
Yeah.
Brian, let's hear your story.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time. First, my name is Brian. I'm from York, Pennsylvania, and I served in the military from 2004 to 2008. And I saw a lot of poverty over there. I was deployed twice to Iraq, and so after the military, I served 4 years. I came home and went to college and got my degree for free, and the government paid for my degree. And then after that, I went from the Army. I wanted to go to Southeast Asia and learn different things about different cultures over there and about Asian religion and culture. So I went over there, and it seemed like every time I left America, I saw extreme poverty. I mean, I traveled all throughout Southeast Asia, and it was the same thing everywhere, just immense poverty. And it wasn't until then, and also my time in Iraq, right, I realized how lucky we are as a nation to be here. So I knew that I wanted to do something special to be able to tell the American people what I've seen and explain to them basically how lucky we are. So it's a ride of appreciation. Well, I was in Vietnam one morning, and I just woke up, and I had this very strong feeling in my chest. I knew that I was going to ride my bicycle around the perimeter of the continental United States. Now, I had never done anything like this before. It was just it was a moment of inspiration. I just knew. I didn't do any bicycle ride. I did mountain biking and BMX, things like that, but no bicycle touring before. So I had that moment of inspiration. I knew what I had to do, and I spent about another year in Indonesia at this point, in Jakarta, and there I saw the same thing. The healthcare system's completely broken, and it's just a real mess over there. A huge amount of the city is below poverty level, and there are a lot of problems. So I was inspired to do this trip, so I came home and got the bicycle, got everything together, started the website, which is called www.bicyclearoundamerica.com. And now here we are. I'm 1,300 miles, a little more than 1,300 miles into my trip, and things are going really well. We're at about $12,000, a little more than $12,000 raised. And the two charities that I'll be riding for, that I am riding for, is called, the first one's called Pencils of Promise. And Pencils of Promise builds schools and trains teachers in extremely poor areas, just like the places where I taught, in northern Thailand and in Cambodia and Laos, places like that. The Pencils of Promise has about 300 schools, a little more than 300 schools already built, and they're sustainable. It's an outstanding organization. The second is called Connecting Families, and Connecting Families focuses on the healthcare system in Jakarta, where I worked the past year. And there's just some serious problems over there, and people are dying for the most ridiculous things. They'll just get dehydrated from diarrhea or something like that, and they don't have $10 to get the IV to rehydrate themselves. So it's definitely a sad sight over there. So I'm raising money for that as well. And, again, the ride, I started in New York City. I went up to Portland, Maine, and now I'm on my way to Seattle here as I stop in Akron, which has been a great stop, a lot of friendly people here. And then from Seattle, Washington, I'll head down to San Diego, California. And then from San Diego, California, I'll go back across the states in the wintertime, where it's a little bit warmer down there. It'll still be cold and definitely a lot of rough weather, but it'll be cool. And then I'll go into the Florida Keys, or at least Miami, but possibly the Florida Keys. And then from there, I'll head back up to New York City, where I'll complete the entire perimeter, complete the 10,000-mile journey. So definitely excited about it. Things are going great. I've had a lot of support. I'm talking at schools and businesses, anyone who will hear me speak all around the country. I've hit several schools so far in Boston, Syracuse, Buffalo. I just stopped in Erie. So things have been fantastic so far, definitely.
Brian, tell us about some of the unexpected generosity and how people just open their hearts and their homes just to support your mission?
Sure. Yeah, the bike ride has been amazing so far. I mean, what I have found is that there are extremely generous people out there, and I'll be riding, and some nights I won't have a place to stay. You know, other times I line things up through friends or friends of friends. Say, hey, oh, I know someone who lives in Akron or Cleveland, and they help me out. But sometimes there's just nowhere to stay. Now, I have all my gear with me. I have a tent and sleeping bag. I have everything I need. I have food, everything. I carry all this with me. But sometimes I don't have a place to stay, and I just need a place to camp. So I'll knock on a door of a complete stranger's house and ask if I can camp in their backyard, just so I have permission, so I'm not trespassing or anything like that. I don't want to cause any trouble. And this has happened to me twice already, and you know, I'm about 12% of the way done the ride. So this is still the beginning of the ride, and everybody says the same thing. They say, "Oh my goodness, what you're doing, such a great cause. Come on in. Have you eaten dinner? You know, you can shower here. You can sleep in our extra bedroom." It's been just amazing generosity, and people have given me money right on the streets. They say, "This is incredible." And they'll break out their wallet. They'll give me a $20 bill, and I dock everything into donations. It's been fantastic so far, definitely. Yeah.
Well, you know, I love this story, and I love to be involved in this kind of a process. And I just wanted Akron to be one of his greatest stops. So I reached out, and it was amazing how I was able to get folks to, you know, pitch in. Yesterday, we were in the executive conference room of our county commissioner, Russ Pry, and he was totally behind this. He announced to his entire staff, who came out, and they all filled the conference room and heard Brian's story. And then we passed an envelope, and he collected close to $200 just by doing that. And Russ was great in holding that little gathering for us. And this morning we stopped at Jerry Vanderveer, and what a great guy. I mean, he's also very altruistic, and he loves supporting this kind of story. So we stopped in Jerry's office and picked up a couple of checks. And I've also reached out to the West Akron Kiwanis people. They have a foundation, so we're pretty close to getting an agreement to get $1,000 from the West Akron Kiwanis Foundation. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but I'm very confident that will happen. And so we're gonna, and then this afternoon now he's got lunch at Charles Schwab's executive office in Richfield, and they've got, as I understand, there's 600 employees there, and they will be holding a little event in their auditorium, and then he'll be having lunch with their executive vice president. So I think that we're going to probably exceed $2,000 for his Cleveland Akron stop, and you know, that's sort of one of my objective is to really put Akron on the map as a truly altruistic city that just opens their heart and wallets to good causes.
Yeah, definitely. And it's been a great stop so far. I mean, it's been fantastic. Everyone here has been nice, and I'll be telling the rest of the country about it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
About Akron. That's great. Cool. Well, yeah, I really appreciate you having me here and getting the chance to tell
now,
my message. It's great.
Make sure that everybody understands that 100% of this money is going directly to the charity. You may need a little bit of it to cover your living expenses and food and what have you.
Right.
But
people have the choice to donate directly to charities. I mean, they can go on my website on the donate page on bicyclearoundamerica.com and donate directly to charities. And that's what I encourage. I need very little. I'm on about $7 a day for everything, food, living. I basically eat peanut butter and jelly the whole time and then rely on friends and generous strangers to feed me at night. So, and it's been amazing so far. So I encourage people to donate directly to the charity, and that's really the best way to do it. So it's great.